Okay, welcome back. Today's topic is about Bobby Cummings, OBE. Bobby Cummings is one of, if not the most notorious British gangster of all time. His son Dick was not taken so seriously though.
Not laughing at that one.
Brilliant. But no, we are actually going to talk about it a bit today, aren't we?
Does he actually have a son called Dick?
No, it was just a joke, wasn't it?
Oh,
But Dick Cummings.
it would have been if he did. If he did have a Dick Cummings, or is it someone in his family called Richard?
I mean, yeah, but I didn't do it.
Well, I mean, if he, oh no, it's Bobby. I wasn't. No, never mind.
What was you going to say?
I was gonna say if he's Billy, surely that's short for William, which is Willie. Then he'd be Willie Cummings.
His name's Bobby though, short for Robert.
Yeah, no, that's why I stopped myself.
I mean, Robert might be short for Willie. We don't know how people's names work.
No, that's not.
Mate, you can call your kid anything and bloody say nickname them to anything. There's no rules, is there? That's why I got kids being
Yeah,
called like
but
Emmy and stuff.
yeah, what kind of fucking name is that?
But no, yeah, it's a bit mad. Yeah, but basically he was just like a British gangster back in the day. He's
So tell me all about Bobby Cummings, because when you told me to look him up, I just didn't.
fair enough. To be fair, I only just saw like a 2 hour kind of documentary on him, so I don't know too
Now
much.
you're an expert.
But from what I do know, like he calls himself as a very organized professional man, and he kind of always saw his crime as a business and not as a villainy. Um, he had like structure and like decorum in his own mind, where like he wouldn't hurt kids, he wouldn't really hurt women, and stuff like that. He was very organized and he was very keen on respect. He wanted to do stuff the right way. He didn't want to, in his head, be morally wrong. He did kill many people. He did kill many people. So that's there. There was one incident.
But he's not in prison.
He was in prison. He's been in and out of prison his whole life. Then he got to a point where his like daughter was born or something like that, and he kind of changed his ways. And now he's like a spokesperson, and he goes around does like these lectures to kind of be like, look, crime is not the way. You're just stupid. You're wasting your life, kind of thing. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, the child kind of made him be a better man because he wanted to be better within himself. And yeah, he obviously had a very rough life. He came from quite a poor family and stuff like that. Um, yeah, this obviously isn't a podcast dedicated to him. This is not about him. This is more about the fact of the gangsters and the crime world in itself and how kind of screwed up it is. And how, like,
Well,
even now he's kind of glamorized and he's kind of, well, he's got an OBE and he's got an honorary masters. And yeah, he has changed his life around, done some good, but in my mind, I don't think that should kind of eradicate all the bad stuff he's done.
it's going back to you saying that he didn't see it as like a villainy thing. It was more a business. You're still committing crimes.
Yeah,
Like, it doesn't matter how you see it. You're doing wrong.
yeah, exactly.
And I feel like even in today, like people see it as like, oh, it's what I have to do to survive. It's like you're still breaking a law.
Yeah, and it's like
Like
there's other ways to
you
go
can't
around it
complain.
now.
You can't complain about getting arrested if you're committing a crime, even if it's your only choice.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I do. It's true though. Some people just they rely on that as their only option, but we live in kind of a our government is quite good at helping people, especially like with poor income. I mean, not all of the time, but there's a lot of ways you can get stuff without going to crime.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people think it's the default.
Yeah, people. I don't know. Maybe it's kind of like a self-worth thing. They think they're born into that kind of category, and they're like because that's what he said as well. Like so, basically, when he was like 15, he was in a park, and like the police were doing something like injustice to someone else, and he was like, "Look, don't do that. You're being a prick." And he's like, I know my rights. You can't do that of like an adult without a adult or something like that here. I don't know. And basically, they
Yeah.
came back 10 minutes later and chucked like a razor blade on the floor, and I was like, all right, you just dropped that, we're nicking you.
Mad.
Yeah, which is, I mean, it's kind of, that is mad, but the police are corrupt everywhere, unfortunately. And then, like, he said, like, in his own mind, like, he was like, well, if they're making me out to be a criminal, I'm going to show them how much of a criminal I can be, which is, in my head, that's just stupid.
That is a really stupid way to think about
It's
it.
like, if someone accused me of rape, well, I'm going to show you how much of a rapist I can be.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Like, no. Just
It's
prove
like
your
it should be.
innocence.
Yeah, it should be. I'm going to show you how successful I can be following the law,
Yeah,
and just make them like just show them how good you are rather than how bad you can be.
I know, but obviously, not everyone's brain works the same, and he had the kind of philosophy of, I'm going to just become a crook. But, you know, he did.
Do you know what? I don't think. I think he's just saying that now as an excuse. He's probably just a bad egg, and now he's made success
No,
for
because
himself.
that's the
He's
thing.
making
He is
excuses, so it doesn't seem like a.
like, listening to him, he is actually a very intelligent guy. You can tell that. He's very open-minded. He's kind of a deep thinker. Like, and that's what kind of, like, struck me about him. I was like, oh, shit, like, he's not just some Cockney Joe who just got caught up in the system. I mean, he did, but, like, he's actually got some intelligence to him.
That doesn't make you a good person.
No, it doesn't, but it kind of... I know, you...
If anything, that makes it worse.
Yeah, because then you can probably understand...
Because he
Yeah.
understands what he's doing wrong.
And that's what he said, like, he done, So, like, his father... so, his father was, like, bankrupt once. So, like, he would rob banks. And he was like, well, if you're taking that money, I want to get it back. And I was like, all right, fair enough. Like, I can see how your mind's working, but you know that's not how it works. Like, your dad probably only got bankrupt because he lost the money doing other shit. Or, you know, bad investments. But he
Yeah.
said once he done, like, a bank job, and it... Like, he was very proud of the fact that he would never hurt innocent people. It was like, it's not their business, let them get on with their life. And then a bank job went wrong where he killed an innocent person. Like, they put the gag around their mouth too much and they just choked and died. But then that kind of made me think, like, alright, but even if you're not killing them, you're still harming innocent people. You're putting them through torture.
That's fucking traumatic.
Yeah, like, that could
Like,
fuck
being
you
part
up
of a
for the
bank
rest of your
rob,
life.
yeah. See, this is why I don't think he's that much of a deep thinker, otherwise he would have realised that.
And maybe that's just how they portrayed him. You know, to kind of... Because it's the same thing, they're glamorizing him. You want to sympathize with him. But I could never sympathize with someone who's killed people. You know, and sometimes not even taking a second thought. And sometimes, like, he's taken money to, like... Not, like, yeah, like a hitman to go and kill people. And even with that, he was saying, like, I want to... Like, I saw that as business as well. If I'm going to kill someone, I'm going to get 15 years. So I want to get paid what I would earn in that 15 years. I was like, or just not be in prison for 15 years. And you don't have the guilt of killing someone.
Yeah, like, he doesn't know. He's just being told by the person who wants this person killed what they've done. They could be an innocent person.
That's what he kind of said. Like, you can't. He said you don't want to know too much about them, because as soon as you start finding out they got a mum and a wife and a kids, then your brain wraps, like, goes like mad. And I'm like, right, but they obviously have family, for one. Two.
Okay, so he'd rather kill someone who have a wife and kid who potentially relies on them instead of just some random cunt in a bank who might just be like 50 years old, never had a wife or kid, just lives on his own, does nothing.
Potentially, yeah. Because in his mind, he don't know the person. He just always sees it as like, oh, they're a rat, and they're vermin, in his own words. They're vermin and they need to get eradicated.
He's vermin.
Mate, yeah, and that's what I mean, like...
He's a gangster, like...
I just don't get it. And it's like with Jack the Ripper. Everyone's like, oh, the mystique, oh, the wonder, and like, we make money off him even today. He was a fucking rapist. He used to rape and kill prostitutes. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah,
oh, well,
you say what you want.
We all had a wild Saturday night.
Fuck off. And like, say what you want about the sex industry, but at the end of the day, they are girls. You know, they're still people, and they're not actually harming anyone. Like, most of them,
No,
even back in
literally doing the opposite.
Yeah, literally. Well, unless you pay extra, then they will harm you. But especially back in them days, they probably didn't even have a choice. They was like, all right, fucking grab her.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But yeah, man, it's just
So,
that is the topic
do
of
you
the
think
day.
Jack the Ripper? Do you think Jack the Ripper was maybe like a super religious man who just hated sex workers?
Nah, I think he was just. I don't know. I've never really thought about it, but I mean, I bet I went on Jack the Ripper tour, and it was kind of like a bit eerie to think like, oh, here, like, because he killed someone on my birthday as well, which is a bit grim. And like, just standing there and be like, like this happened like so and so many years ago. Like, it's just mad. But
Yeah, but like shit's happened everywhere though.
yeah, I know, but
Like,
yeah, I know, but it's just like the here and the full escalating of it, and like the what's it called, like the autopsy kind of what he actually done to her and stuff, and it's just like, it's disgusting. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
I'm pretty sure some people think he was like a doctor because how well he like dissected people,
Yeah.
or maybe like a butcher.
Either way, he's fucked up. But it's the same with
Oh yeah,
Bobby Cummings. Like,
yeah, your mate.
I mean, I don't know. It's hard to sympathise with some people because, like, I understand. I don't really understand what it's like to grow up the life they've lived. But I can understand what it's like
Yeah,
to grow up in a poor, destructive family and stuff like that. I can relate to that bit, but I've never thought, you know what, fuck this. I'm just gonna go and kill people for a living. Like,
this is the thing. Like the majority of people choose crime.
that's the thing. Like, and it's so glamorized, and that's all you see. And like, even like, I know Top Boy is probably a bad example because they kind of the message of that show is to show the opposite. But it's still people watch it and they won't see the message. They'll just see what's happening. And they're like, oh, I want to be like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just so fucked, man.
Like the way Call of Duty makes people want to go in the army.
I mean,
But it's like, it's not like that, is it? Like in the army, in Call of Duty, you respawn, but in the army, you get shot, you're dead.
yeah, and I think that's a
And
lot of
like, it's
people.
completely different sitting in your room than just being in there.
Yeah, exactly. There's a whole different environment, and even the weight alone of what you'd have to carry in the army, would probably fucking do you in.
Oh mate, I couldn't even fucking stand up.
Nah, nah, nah. It's not that. One, I'm completely against war. I'd never go to war. I'd kill myself before I went to war. It's just
So
stupid.
I was watching, it was some sort of YouTube video about like D-Day,
Yeah,
and you see when they arrived in the boats that they were getting like machine gun fired as soon as they opened like the little ramp.
yeah,
So like people were like jumping over the edge and stuff. But like obviously they're carrying all their stuff, and like a lot of them drown because their packs and stuff just dragged them to the bottom, and they just couldn't get it off in time.
yeah. It's fucked, isn't it? And like they would literally have to crawl over the dead bodies to get out. And imagine being the front of that line,
Yeah,
or not even the front because you'd open it and instantly get shot. But like being the third row bag, you fucking know what's coming. You know what's
yeah.
coming.
It's like World War One in the trenches.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, you're going over the top.
All right. This is what we spoke about before. Like, say if you do go over the top, you somehow manage to kill them all and get to the other side. Right, you're in their base. What the
Yeah,
fuck do you do? Because none of the other cunts are with you. Like,
yeah, and like, and then in the war, in World War One, you only had like the one shot rifle, so it's not like you could mow them all down. It's like you'd shoot one, and like four other fucking people would take you out.
and that's like, I can't remember. It's either World War One or World War Two, but basically the number of troops outweighed the number of guns. So you'd literally like walk behind someone, and as soon as they're killed, you pick up the gun and then start shooting.
That's mad.
Yeah, like just think of that. Like, and imagine like who would you rather be? The guy who's gonna get killed first, or the guy just walking around without a weapon? Do you know what? This is why I fucking hate war. And war now is so different to how it would be, or how it was like 70 to 90 years ago. Because war now is, you know, tracking and it's IP addresses and it's nukes. Like, we've got the Tsar bomb, man. That shit is fucking deadly. And that's like that's the most biggest nuclear weapon we have. But that's the only one we know about. Do you know what I mean? Like, if they're telling us
Yeah.
that one, that's large enough to wipe out like the whole of London, then what about the shit that can they don't tell us about? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
It's that's the thing. Like, if there's another world war, like the memes at the beginning of the year, everyone's like, "Oh, when you get fucking drafted for the war," it's like, dude, you won't get drafted. If there's a war, it'll be fought with nukes.
Yeah, we'd all be dead in about 3 weeks probably.
Yeah. Like, I know, like, you're not allowed to use nukes, but it's a war.
Yeah, it's just the one easy way to win, really.
Yeah.
But then it's like,
But
there's
that's the thing. Like, the big superpowers, they don't fight their own war. They get other countries to do it.
yeah, man, that's why the
Like,
world's so
like
fucked.
Vietnam, Korea, the fucking Middle East. It's America versus Russia. They just use other countries.
Oh yeah, during the Cold War, it was mad. Like the Korean
Yeah.
War, Vietnam, like all this shit. Even as still today, it's happening. Where like we're just
Yeah.
funding the ammunitions
The
and
whole fucking whole Israel debate.
yeah, that's just backed by each
That's still
superpower.
the That's still the US versus Russia.
Yeah, and where they're not even doing it because they believe that the Jewish people or the Islamic people should have that state. It's just, hey, we'll fund this, but you pay us for our ammunition.
It's like, we'll fund this because the US or the Russia is funding the other side, so we'll give you stuff.
Do you reckon ever once they've just both walked into the same office, like proposing to like fund that team? They just kind of see each other like, oh, what are you doing here?
They just play rock paper scissors.
Yeah, rock paper scissors to see who gets. I don't know.
Oh, I don't want Syria.
Oh, fuck's sake! It's like oh, like fantasy football. Like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck's sake, I wanted that one. Jesus. But yeah, it's just like that's what I mean. Violence is still promoted, and like that, it kind of interlinks to Bobby Cummings. Is like war is still so highly promoted, and you hear everyone who's survived war to come back, and they've said, "I don't want to go back because I don't believe in what I'm fighting in."
Yeah.
And they come back and they have
But that's the thing,
PTSD and
like,
depression, and if they don't die at war, they're probably going to kill themselves anyway.
back then, like, after the World Wars, it was like I mean, during the World Wars, they had to go to war because it was the law. And
Yeah,
like, they didn't know anything else. It was like, okay, so they're the bad guys. The government's telling us, who am I to question the government? Why would they lie to me? So I'm just gonna fight them. Which is not their fault because they just didn't have the information that we do today to question it.
yeah,
But like, then like, now if there was a war, it'd be like a lot of people would be like, I'm not fucking going.
yeah. I'm not fucking going to war,
I'm
mate.
not fighting for you. You fucking go.
That's what I mean. Like, this is my life. I'm a believer of science. Like, I believe there is no afterlife. I believe once you're dead, you're dead. So for me, I'm like, this is very limited time, and I'm not gonna shorten that because you want to get money from another country.
So you don't want to shorten your life.
What do you mean?
You don't want to take any time off your life, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Then why do you smoke?
Oh, because I fucking love that. But that's I know what you're saying, but this is like a drastic shortage. Do you know what I mean? Like, the smoking, if anything, is not going to affect me for another 30, 40 years. And in that case, I'm fucking ready to go anyway. Mate, I was ready to go last week, so... No, I'm joking. But it's still the fact of the matter is, like... I just wouldn't... I don't believe in it. Why would I fight that? And especially knowing that I do not know all the information behind it, but knowing enough not to want to go.
But for me, see, if there was a world war and there was a draft and I got picked, I would go. Because the way I would see it is it's us or them. It doesn't matter what we're fighting for. At the end of the day, if the other team win, we're going to die. And like, my family's going to die.
Yeah, but then it's
So
also
it's like,
realizing there's people in your same position on the opposite side. Like, no one has a
yeah,
choice, and they're feeding that mentality through like
yeah, but
years of
like,
shit.
I would rather live than the other cunt on the other side. It's us or them at the end of the day. And that's probably what most people thought during the World War. It was like, I don't want to go fight, but it's fucking us or them.
Yeah, true. And especially back then, there
'Cause-
was that was a full-on takeover of the world by the Nazis. They didn't.
Yeah.
They had that mentality like you're with us or against us, and if you're against us, you're fucked. But,
Yeah. It's just you're not German, so you're dead.
yeah. Yeah, mate. It's just.
But it's interesting. Like I've been watching. There's a YouTube channel called like Biographics, and they basically just like pick a historic figure and just talk about their life.
Oh, okay.
And it's just interesting. Like I think their slogan's something like "History one life at a time."
What
So
history, one life at a time? Okay.
yeah, because they talk about one person's life at a time. And like it's interesting when they talk about like Nazis, because like some of them were just normal people who ended up as Nazi officers, and then there's some people that were Nazis, but they didn't really believe in it. But it was kind of like, oh, I got to, otherwise I'm gonna get killed or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's some people that didn't believe in it, became a Nazi, then went a bit mental. But then there was just some that were just psychopaths from the get-go.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And they were like, in the war, they were feeding them like LSD and shit, man. To like make them fucking go gun ho. Do you know what I mean? And giving them like crack
Really?
and coke
Was
and
that
shit.
was that the World War? That's more like Vietnam.
Ah, mate, World War as well.
Well, because I know in Vietnam a lot of the American soldiers got addicted to heroin.
Yeah, same thing. They was giving them like opiums and stuff like that to help them deal with it. And so then you're not really like it feels like a game because you're not really that aware of what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Free drugs, free drugs.
Oh yeah, mate. If they're gonna give me some free packets, I'll fucking go over there. Me and you getting on it on the front line. All right, boys, we've got to go over now. Yeah, one more line, mate. One more. Come on, one more line. Put on Wonderwall. We're just going over the things like today is gonna be the day. Do you see Liam Gallagher want to do an Oasis reunion for the NHS?
Mate, he just wants it.
Oh, I feel
He
so
just wants it so
bad.
bad.
I love Liam Gallagher, and he just wants Noel back, but Noel's just like, nah, fuck off.
I mean, I don't see why. They'd make so much money.
I think it's more than that. It's obviously like Liam's either done something really bad that Noel's never going to forgive him, or it's just been years of like pent up rage and stuff like that. And it might be like a bit of resentment as well because I mean Noel was
Noel
the
definitely
crafter.
doesn't like him for some reason.
Yeah, Noel's the crafter. He wrote the songs. He what's I just going to reference? I write the songs, I sing the song, I write the play.
Oh, not the right accent.
No, I mixed up two shows.
Dennis Waterman.
Yeah, I was doing Dennis Waterman with the...
Write the theme tune,
yeah,
sing
that's
the theme
what I was
tune,
trying to do. And, but yeah, and they did make up, like, not last Christmas, the Christmas before, but after a week they fell out again, so... Join us for all your latest Gallagher news.
Mate, you were just tweeting out a load of bullshit. Like, I don't know what it meant.
What, Noel or Liam?
Yeah.
No, he's always off his rocker, ain't he? Literally.
Did you see him washing his hands singing Wonderwall?
Yeah. Beard bangs. Beard bangs.
Yeah, it does. He suits it.
His kid, I can't remember his name, but he's got a band and it's quite good. But it's good because
Gallagher.
then, yeah, something Gallagher.
Please say that.
But it's not like really like Oasis. Like it's good that he's tried to go in his own way.
Yeah.
Because like there's a lot of celebrities that kind of just, and I'm not naming any in particular, Kelly Osbourne,
Jaden Smith,
that just use the surname to get famous. And I mean, Ozzy Osbourne is one of the greatest musicians of all time. And Kelly Osbourne, I'm sorry, but let's send her to war. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Are you gonna end on that?
Yeah. And let's hope
Send Kelly Osbourne to war.
Yeah.
Alright. Follow on Twitter, shit like that. Full Circle Podcast _.
I mean,
friends,
if you mind, we're
it.
not forcing it. Just whatever you want to do.
No, I'm forcing it.
Oh.
I'm forcing it now. Follow us on Twitter. Oh, bye.